Welcome back to our Azure networking series. In this episode, we're diving deep into two of the most essential network security tools, firewalls and network security groups. These components are critical for Azure's security framework, enabling you to define and enforce network traffic policies and protect your virtual network's resources. Firewalls are vital for safeguarding your Azure environment, allowing for sophisticated traffic management and threat protection. NSGs, on the other hand, provide an additional layer of security by acting as a virtual firewall at the subnet and network interface level, controlling inbound and outbound traffic based on rules. Join us as we explore the intricacies of implementing firewalls and NSGs, understanding their crucial roles in protecting your Azure environment, considerations for effective rule configurations, and step-by-step deployment techniques to enhance your network security. To meet this objective, we've created a VM with its network environment, VNET and subnet, but without a public IP address. By default, the VM has open access to the internet, as demonstrated by the curl command. Now let's review the NSG associated with this VM's subnet. Note that we can associate an NSG with multiple subnets within the same VNet. The NSG offers two categories of rules, inbound and outbound ones. Our VM is already protected from public inbound traffic, since it does not have a public IP address. So our concern is the outbound traffic. Therefore, we're gonna create an outbound rule. We choose first the source. We can leave it as any if we want to apply the rule to all resources concerned with the NSG. In our case, we'll choose to apply it only on our VM by choosing IP addresses and assigning the VM's private IP. Next, we can choose the specific ports we want to control. Let's include all ports by leaving the symbol wildcard. Now the destination. If we choose any, we'll block all outbound traffic. But that's not what we want to do. We want to control internet traffic. We can't control it by domain names, unfortunately, or even web categories. So the only choice left is IP addresses. And since the big internet sites have hundreds of IP addresses, it's almost impossible to block certain sites and leave others. So we're going to block all IP addresses by assigning 000/0 and leave wildcard on destination port ranges. The action is deny. Now the priority of the rule is very important. It determines the rule that's gonna be applied first. So if there is a contradiction, the rule with inferior priority number is the one who wins. The numbers goes from 100 to 65,000. Let's choose 105 for example. Let's check the connection now. Oops, obviously it's stopped by the NSG rule. Let's suppose we want to control the VM's access to the internet by forbidding all sites except specific ones we need. The NSG layer of security doesn't provide the option of targeting specific domain names, so we have to create a higher level of security, which is firewalls. But let's delete the NSG rule and create a firewall. Let's name it firewall 1. The basics here seems fine. The firewall policy is an independent resource where the rules are introduced. We'll create one here and choose our VNet. Finally, assign an IP address. The creation of a firewall could take several minutes. After the creation, we need to redirect the traffic going out from the VM to the firewall. And to ensure that, we need to create a route table. Afterwards, we gotta associate it with the VM subnet. And we configure the route. Let's name it all to firewall. Destination type IP addresses. The address range is everything, so we put 40/0. Firewall is the next hop, so we choose virtual appliance and we provide here its IP address. Now that the traffic is redirected to the firewall, it's important to mention that the firewall policy is built on the zero trust concept, which means that all connections is denied until you allow it explicitly in your firewall policy. Another thing, the changes happening at the firewall level don't take place until you restart your machine. So let's restart it and test. The message that the firewall is stopping all outgoing traffic. Zero trust, as we mentioned before. So in order to enable a specific website, we need to configure a firewall rule. Let's visit the firewall policy, click on Rule Collections, and add rule collection, name the collection. Since we want to build our rule on the domain name, we have to choose application on the type. Give it 105 priority. The action is allow, and we put it in a collection group. Now we name the rule. Source is the VM address. Protocol is HTTP, HTTPS. Destination type FQDN, fully qualified domain name. And let's choose as destination google.com and wildcard.google.com. And we click on Add. Now we need to restart our VM and let's check again. curl google.com is working, but curl in facebook.com or x.com is not. So the firewall is doing its job perfectly. To summarize, NSGs are straightforward and used for basic network traffic control at the subnet or NIC level, while Azure Firewall provides advanced, comprehensive security features suitable for more complex network environments. That would be everything for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Goodbye.